Okay, next thing we're going to show you is how to install the programs onto your computer. First thing we're going to do is create a file. You want to go to your documents, and the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and create a file called firing system. You can call it whatever you like. Just create a file folder. This is where you're going to store everything that you download, update, make shows. It's a whole lot easier if it's in one folder. Everything tends to work better. So the first thing we're going to do is, after we create our folder, we're going to go to the internet. And we're going to type in fjpyrosystems.com. That's fjpyrosystems.com. We're going to go to the website. You're going to see it's pulled up here. We're going to go to our home page links here. And we're going to go to downloads. You got your Arduino software here. That's the main microprocessor software. Click on that and download it. You also have Pyro Ignition Control. That's the actual software. Click on that. And this is a link to the page for the download. You're going to click on the green download button for the top one. It's going to come down here to an I agree box. Check mark that and press download. Once that's all downloaded into your system, depending upon where you downloaded it to, you can download it directly into that folder, or if your system automatically downloads it into your download section, you can go to your downloads, and you're going to see two zip files here. You're going to see Arduino Windows, and you're going to see Pyro Ignition Control version. This one is version 1.4.3. You go ahead and right click on it and go to extract all. Press browse. Choose the folder that you're going to put it in. So here we'll go to my documents. We're going to go to firing system, and we're going to press OK, and you're going to press extract. This will extract all the files into that folder. I've already done that. And you're going to do the same thing with Pyro Ignition Control. Press extract all. Choose the folder that you're going to put it in, which in this case is the firing system folder. Click on that and press OK. Extract all. Once those are extracted, you can delete the zip files if you want to. I choose to always kind of have them there, but you can delete them if you want to. The other thing you're going to get in an email is a zip file of your clip igniter program and eMatch program. Now it'll be preloaded with the program you particularly want. If you fire eMatches all the time or pretty regularly, the eMatch program has a 250 millisecond on time for the firing. That'll allow you to fire 10 eMatches in series with no problem. It has an approximate timing between cues of 0.7 seconds. The clip igniter program has an on time currently of 950 milliseconds. We're going to change that down to 600 milliseconds because that seems to be plenty. That's more than enough to fire off 4, 5, 6 igniters in parallel off of one cue, and has an approximate time between cues of about 1.2 seconds. So that's about the fastest speed you'll be able to get between cues. Once you download those zip files from the email that I send you, go ahead and right click on them, and you're going to extract them all just like you did the programs, and extract them into this folder. That way everything's nice and neat and in one folder. If you want to open up the Arduino program, you can. Once we first install it, we're going to click on this icon that says Arduino, and it's got a little blue circle. We're going to double click on that, press run, and the Arduino program will open up. When we first set this up, we're going to go to Tools. You're going to highlight down here to Board, and it should automatically be recognized, but the first checkoff is Arduino Uno, U-N-O. If it's not clicked on that, click on that and be done with that. Go back to Tools and close that out. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in our firing box. You're going to see the little light here blink, showing communication. I've already installed this one, but let's install another one so I can show you how to install the drivers if they aren't automatically installed. Typically Windows 7, it'll automatically install the drivers once you kind of set up the system. See, it already installed them, and it's got the little highlight box, Arduino Uno R3 COM4. When you first plug it in, it's going to say installation failed. On XP, it's going to pop up the installation wizard. What you're going to do is, when it pops up the installation wizard on XP, you're going to press on the first page. It's going to ask you, what would you like to do? Search for drivers, automatically search for drivers. You're going to press no thanks, I'll install drivers on my own. Press next. It's going to give you a choice of options on browsing. So just press the browse button. Once you get to that point, and we'll take over in Windows 7 here, where we're going to go to the control panel, hardware and sound, device manager, and I'm just going to show you here. Once XP, once you click on driver install, that you'll look for the browse button. So we're going to go to, on here, we're going to go update driver. So this will kind of bring you into the same window that XP would be in. Browse my computer for driver software. And from here on out, it's similar to XP. We're going to press browse. And we're going to go to the folder, firing system, Arduino 1.0. And we're going to click on drivers. Now when you click on drivers, don't click on any of these other drivers. It's got a couple different choices. Just leave it highlighted to the drivers. Press OK. Press next. Once it's done installing, you'll see here Arduino Uno R3. Now you may have a pop-up box that says unsafe software or unrecognized software, either in XP or in 7. Just click OK, or click I want to install it anyway. Once you do, it'll automatically install the software for it and pop up here. You close that out. While you're still in Device Manager here, you'll see that it's COM4. And close that out. We're going to go back to our file folder. We're going to go back to the Arduino software. We're going to open it up. You're going to go to Tools, and you're going to go below where it says Board, and it's going to say Serial Port COM4. Now it may have, on first startup, it may have COM1 and COM4, or COM1 and COM3, whatever communications port that Windows set up for it, it'll have it as the other choice. Go ahead and click on that choice, and now it's automatically set for COM4. Go ahead and close it out. Once you extract your files for your programs, for your eMatch or Clip Igniter, you don't have to go into them if you don't want to, if you don't need to. It's preloaded with the software that you need, that you requested. However, if things change, if you're all of a sudden licensed and you get eMatch, you can change it to the eMatch program, let's say. Go ahead and double click on that. Double click on the file folder. Now when you first extract these, it's going to have just a plain white sheet of paper looking here. It's not going to be associated with it. So you're going to right click on it, and you're going to press open with, and you're going to go to your list here of programs. If Arduino is not on there, press browse, go to your file folder, which contains Arduino. So we're going to go to Documents, we're going to go to Firing System, we're going to go to Arduino 1.0, and we're going to click on the Arduino with the icon and the little blue circle. We're going to press Open, and we're going to press OK. It'll automatically associate it. Now, Arduino will have a pop-up box here that says the associated sketch is not in the file folder recognized by Arduino. Would you like to create a folder? You press yes, and it'll pull it up. And what it does is create a separate subfolder. When you're looking in here, you'll see your file folder here, and you'll double click and there will be another file folder there. It's a separate subfile that Arduino uses to recognize where everything is at. You double click on there, and there's your actual program. So we're going to pull this back up here. I didn't put it down too far. There we go. Once you've set the COM port on this, if you want to upload your clip style or eMatch program, if you want to change the program that's in the system already, you're going to go to your arrow, which will say Upload. You'll see the little upload here next to these little blue boxes, and press Upload. Once you're uploading, your light's going to be blinking. Once it's done, the light goes steady, and on the bottom here it says Done Uploading. You can just go ahead and close it out. You don't have to do anything else. Once you close out the system, it's programmed, and you're ready to rock and roll. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Power Ignition Control. You're going to scroll down here till you see the Power Ignition Control software. Double click on it. Press Run. It may pop up a box for English or German, which language you want to choose. Obviously you choose the language you speak. In this case it's English. Go to Options. Up here in the top row of boxes here. Go to Options on the drop down box, and go to here. You're going to see a couple different tabs. You're going to go to Output, and it'll have COM ports listed here. Yours may be 3, yours may be 4. Power Ignition Control automatically recognizes the current COM port that's in use. So here you have 3 and you have 4. So this box is now 4. So we're going to click on 4. and close that out. You're going to go back to your options, and you're going to press connect, and you saw your light communication there, and now it's connected. Once you're in the software, now you're ready to begin programming. You don't have to keep the box plugged in while you're programming a show or anything like that. You don't have to be plugged in the program. You can disconnect it. But when you go to ready to test or you're ready to fire, you have to, on your options, either press connect, or when you go to arm the software, it'll say, would you like to connect? When you go to start your show, it'll say not connected. Would you like to connect now? Press yes. Typically, if you leave the box plugged in too long while you're programming or while you're waiting, what can happen is the microprocessor will go into a sort of sleep mode, and it'll say cannot connect to COM 4 or whatever COM port it has. Just unplug it and replug it back in. It just kind of wakes it up out of sleep mode. Once you're done doing that, once you're done making sure your COM ports are set in the system, you can go ahead and program your show. You can look at our how-to on how to program it, but we're going to go over it real quick here. I'm just going to load a pre-made file. So what we're going to do is go to File. I'm going to go to Load Project. And typically, if you keep your projects in the same file folder and you choose where it is, every time you open that up, it'll redirect itself automatically to the folder that you have those projects listed in. Right now I don't have any projects listed, so I'm going to go to my other computer. I'm going to load up a program. I'm going to go to my alternating. And what this does is go between 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. Now on the programmable systems, the firing box is going to operate the same as before in manual mode. You would press the program button on the firing box, and you would press any number on your S12, any of the red buttons or any of the A, B, C, D buttons to program the system. For the computer programs, for the computer codes, it's a little bit more complicated, but not really that bad. But we're going to show you real quick how to do that. Since one of these boxes was programmed to a different channel the other day, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to get back out of this program, press File, Save Project. If you haven't saved it, it'll give you a file folder to save it in. If you haven't changed it, it won't say anything. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on our system. Turn it on to an internal battery, and we're going to make sure our green light is on. If it's on red, remember it's in manual mode. If it's on green, it's in computer mode. We're going to go ahead and plug up our control box. We're going to make sure we're connected. We're going to go ahead and connect. choose the wrong box. Okay, now it's connected. Like I said, sometimes you just gotta unplug it, plug it back in. But once it's connected, we're gonna go ahead and plug in our XLR connector, which isn't necessary right now. But we're gonna go ahead and get set up. We're gonna go ahead and turn on our Superb Fire system. Now what we're going to do is, you got computer codes 7 through 10 on the 6-channel box. So we're going to press add a queue. It's going to go to slave ID. And then you're going to see output. You're going to see break time, things like that. We're going to program this to channel 1, so just leave it on slave ID 1. We're going to put in a break time in just 1 second. It doesn't really matter. The output is your queue. On these, it's 1 through 32. This will go all the way up to 99, but 1 through 32 is the only ones that'll work. So for right now, we're just programming the boxes. We don't have to worry about which output it is. We're going to press save. Click on arming the software over here. There's a little checkbox right here. Arm the software, and we're going to start the show. Now, once your little button here on the side goes from green to gray, the firing control box is now automatically sitting on channel 1. Now don't do anything else. We're going to press our program button here, and we're going to press program, and now she's on channel 1. So now if we put it in manual mode and we chose our channel 1, you can see, and now she's starting to fire. Let's go up to ones you can see. So that's channel 1. So it even works with the manual section as well, for the computer. As long as it's within 6 codes, it'll work with the manual as well. Put it back to computer mode. We're going to set up our second box here. We're going to set this to channel 3. So the easiest thing to do with this is we're going to unarm the system. Click on that box and unarm it. We're going to go to here, click on left click to highlight it, and right click. And we're going to set slave ID. You're going to put in slave ID 3. Press OK. It'll change it to slave ID 3. We're going to rearm the system. And we're going to start the show. Once it goes gray, now we're set to 3. Go ahead and press your button on here for program, and press any of these. That's it. Now it's set for 3. Right now it's in computer mode. The system will take manual backup while the system is firing, but only on the current slot that is selected. So I really kind of recommend not messing with any buttons while it's on auto fire mode. You can see here by going manual mode, we'll choose channel 3, press A, press D so you can see them, and you can see that it's now programmed to channel 3. I'm going to put it back on computer mode. And now we're going to go to our alternating program. So we're going to unarm the system again. I'm going to load a project. No, I don't want to save it. Oops. And I'm going to go to my alternating program here. I'm going to arm the software. Turn the boxes on. Get it to where you can see them both. Let's zoom out. Let me get it to where you can see both.